As we close in on Election Day, the border is still a key issue among many voters, and not just in border states. The number of people trying to migrate into the U.S. across the southern border has hit historic levels the last several years. New data, however, from Customs and Border Protection shows encounters dropping nearly 70% in August from a year ago. Despite that, it's not stopping Trump from slamming President Biden's policies and Harris on the campaign trail.
4 years. We had people that were so incompetent. They were the most incompetent leaders in the whole world. And she is worse than Sleepy Joe Biden. She's worse.
Trump promising to launch the largest deportation operation in history. Harris, on the other hand, says she wants to revive and sign the bipartisan Senate bill addressing border security. New polls from the New York Times and Siena College show Trump ahead in Arizona, a state the former president was in just a week ago. And now the vice president appears to be planning a trip there as well. The New York Times today reporting Harris will make a trip Friday to the Grand Canyon state and visit the border. It will mark her first trip to the border since becoming the Democratic nominee. Dr. Lauren Wright is with us, NewsNation political contributor and Princeton University political scientist. Good morning to you. So if Harris does go to the border, how does that shift the conversation about her strategy there?
It could go one of two ways. It's a tough needle to thread because on the one hand, she wants to show that she doesn't see her campaign as weak on the border and she's comfortable going and treating it as the serious issue it is. However, it also makes her record on the border salient again, and it gives Republicans an opportunity to point out that really inconsistent record. Voters have to be constantly reminded of this. But the reason border crossings are down so much is because Biden has now implemented asylum restrictions that the progressive immigration advocates have called illegal and immoral in some cases. And so she has pressure from the left, pressure from the right, and that's why it's such a difficult issue for her, Marnie.
And what was in that bill that is a political hot potato that Trump critics say tried to squash, that she would like to bring back and reinstate? What were the details of that, and would that make a difference at the border?
It would have made a difference. I mean, I think this is her strongest talking point, that it was beefed up border security, that it had the support of border patrol agencies, and it would have absolutely made either a short-term or a long-term impact on people's lives here in the state and in border relations in general. What's hard is that the administration fought for so many months saying that their hands were tied, they had no executive power, which is why they were working with Republicans on this bill. And then they turned to executive action to essentially shut the border down to legal asylum seekers.
And Trump's plan is the largest deportation operation in history. What are the specifics of that?
There aren't very many. And this is something I find so baffling about Trump leading on the immigration issue is not long ago, he was being critiqued for what a lot of people saw as inhumane border policies. That was the Democrats' key talking point as late as June 2021. And Laura Bush wrote an op-ed saying it was inhumane. Ivanka Trump in an interview said it was a low point of the administration, the child separations, of course. And now Americans, having remembered those very, very tough border policies that a lot of people found outrageous, favor him on this issue. It just shows how weak Harris's record is.
Dr. Lauren Wright on the border, an important issue for American voters. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.